It's a new year, which means new TV shows. It used to be that September and October were when all the big, new, flashy TV shows debuted, with the occasional mid-season replacement to account for the bombs that get canceled. But nowadays, there are so many channels competing for eyeballs that high-profile series roll out all year long. Here are some TV shows that will blow everyone away in 2017. The Young Pope. In this co-production with European television networks, HBO goes behind one of the grandest and oldest organizations in the world, the Vatican. Jude Law stars in The Young Pope as Lenny, an American orphan raised by a nun who ultimately becomes the leader of the Catholic Church, the spiritual leader of more than 1 billion people. Unlike the cool and chill Pope Francis of reality, Jude Law's Pope is mean, conniving, and power-hungry.
From this day forward, we need to go back to being prohibited, inaccessible, and mysterious.
Emerald City. The dark and gritty reboot fad that has gripped the entertainment industry hits L. Frank Baum's wonderful World of Oz books. No more cackling witches, blustery lions, doe-eyed Dorothys, and wacky dancing scarecrows. Instead, viewers get NBC's dark, ominous look at the land of Oz in decay. Plus, there's a little bit of Once Upon a Time's fairy tale revisionism and Game of Thrones' brutality and power struggles thrown in for good measure. The Tick. This marks the third time that the classic superhero spoof has come to TV. First, there was Fox's Saturday morning cartoon in the early 90s, and a short-lived live-action version in 2001. It seems they got it right this time with a very faithful adaptation overseen by Tick creator Ben Edlund himself. Amazon made the pilot available for viewing last year, and enough viewers supported it that it got a full season order. British comedy legend Peter Serafinowicz stars as the Tick, a man who might be insane or might actually be the superhero he says he is. Or both.
But my greatest power is this. When destiny speaks, she speaks to me. She says hi, by the way.
The Deuce. HBO has something lined up to fill in the 70s-sized void in its schedule left by the cancellation of Vinyl, something with a lot more porn in it. Very little footage has been revealed yet, but the premium network is set to air The Deuce, which looks to be a complex series about the rise of the American porn industry, along with the crime and drug epidemics that ravaged New York in the disco decade, not to mention the start of the AIDS crisis. And we can be assured it will be handled adeptly because it was co-created by David Simon, the former reporter who created The Wire and Homicide, and boasts a stacked cast including James Franco and Maggie Gyllenhaal. Riverdale. If you haven't picked up an Archie comic in a while, you might be in for a bit of a surprise, because America's favorite teenagers have been pushing the envelope for a while now with a weird series of paranormal and monster-based plot lines. Even more interesting is that they're now coming to TV on, of course, the CW. This modern version of Riverdale is not goofy, it's not funny, and it looks really creepy and kind of awesome. But don't worry, Jughead still wears a little crown, Archie still has red hair, and Veronica is still a self-centered sociopath.
I'm breakfast at Tiffany's, but this place is strictly in cold blood.
24. Legacy. Jack Bauer may be gone, but that doesn't mean that TV terrorists have stopped threatening TV America. Fox is rebooting the can't-miss non-stop action formula of 24, in which a whole season takes place over the course of a single day and plays like a really long but deeply compelling action movie. Subbing in for Kiefer Sutherland is up-and-coming actor Corey Hawkins, who recently co-starred on The Walking Dead as Heath and in Straight Outta Compton as Dr. Dre. Star Trek Discovery. Following the success of the J.J. Abrams cinematic reboot, Star Trek is coming back to TV for the first time since Enterprise went off the air in 2005. Well, sort of. Star Trek Discovery will be the first flagship original series to air on CBS All Access, a paid streaming platform. Details are still sketchy as of the making of this video, but it's been confirmed that Sonequa Martin Green, who plays Sasha on The Walking Dead, will lead the cast as Lieutenant Commander Rainsford.
Fascinating.
The Handmaid's Tale. Margaret Atwood's 1985 novel The Handmaid's Tale is one of the most acclaimed dystopian science fiction novels of all time, and it was adapted for the screen once before in 1990. But now it's been turned into a series for Hulu, where the complex and harrowing story of human identity, feminism, sexuality, and politics has the room it needs to breathe. Elizabeth Moss of Mad Men fame plays a woman who, after the takeover of a brutal totalitarian regime, is now the sex slave of a high-ranking officer played by Joseph Fiennes. American Gods. A mix of fantasy, religion, mythology, and history, American Gods depicts the interactions of a melting pot of strange gods and fantastical creatures that all coexist in America after generations of immigrants brought their beliefs with them to the New World. Based on the best-selling novel by Neil Gaiman, the series follows the saga of Shadow, a man who's dragged into the battle between the old gods like Odin and new modern gods such as Technical Boy, the god of computers and technology. Twin Peaks. Cult filmmaker David Lynch's beloved classic Twin Peaks was one of the most original and inventive TV shows ever, quickly evolving from a thing about a murder mystery set in a small town into whatever Twin Peaks was. It both delighted viewers and drove them mad with its hallucinogenic twists and turns and attention to detail. But there were still plenty of loose ends when the show left the air after just 2 seasons in 1991, and fans have been waiting more than 25 years for another trip to the sleepy, spooky Washington town, where things way creepier than murder are a way of life. Considering the teasers are just like David Lynch eating donuts, chances are good that the new Showtime revival may just satisfy even the most hardcore fans. Thanks for watching! Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.